Let's do this. What's going on? Today is July 17, 2024, and Canon just released the two brand new cameras, the Canon R5 Mark II and the Canon R1. And I have some thought about the Canon R5 Mark II. I am less interested in the Canon R1 and more interested in the Canon R5 Mark II. Let's get into it. Now look, in some way that I am appreciate what Canon has offered, the 8K 60 FPS internal. This is incredible. I think that there's a specific use case for it, like VFX, something that needs super high res, but the file is massive. And I think that the majority of the audience and the prosumer user, are more interested in the dynamic range and how the sensor performs in general. This not only includes dynamic range of the sensor, but the readout speed of the sensor. Here are some of the pros that I wrote down this morning that I think that it would benefit me in my career just for my specific use case. All right, here's the pro. Tele lamp is the little light on your cameras that indicate whether you are rolling or you are standby. This is great, as this allows us to check whether if the camera is still rolling at a glance. Sometimes when you thought that you are rolling, but you're actually not rolling, and when you stop rolling, you accidentally start rolling, and the whole time hasn't been captured. When it happens, we drop our stomach, and having a tail lamp can save our day. Next one, the new Canon R5 Mark II is equipped with a backside illuminate stack sensor. This means that it has a faster readout speed, which also means less rolling shutter. This is great for all of our user, as the Sony a7S III has a single digit readout speed compared to the current Canon lineup. I haven't seen a lot of testing yet, so we'll see on that. Next one, Canon is still going for the Digit X, but they add this new chips that enhance the autofocus performance. They call it the Digit Accelerator. This is the same thing that Sony has been doing on their Sony lineup, including the Sony a7R5 with their proprietary chip to enhance the autofocus algorithm in the cameras. So next one is pretty insane, and it took them a while to add this into the cameras. They have included the new lock curve C-Lock 2 into the Canon R5 Mark II. This is a flatter lock curve from Canon. It has more dynamic range than the Canon C-Lock 3. And now if you are thinking of picking up between the Canon R5C and the Canon C70, a Canon R5 Mark II is a no-brainer. Not only this camera has the C-Lock 2, it also has a more advanced autofocus ever in Canon cameras. Next one, they added a variety of different codec. The one that people love to use is the XF AVC codec. Like I said on my previous videos, this is better than the H.264 or the H.265 compression algorithm. This MXF container provides us 4 additional channels of audios. This is great when you want to back up your main source of audio with multiple channels at many lower decibel. It's up to you to decide. So when you drop that files on the timeline, there will be 4 channels of audios embedded in the videos, if that makes sense. This is so great whenever somebody yell, or if there's an explosion of some sort, like cannon confetti. Those additional 3 audios will save you from clipping. Next one, the Canon R5 Mark II has a vent now, but not a fan. This is both a pro and a con. A pro is that it's dissipated heat more easily and heat can escape, but the con is that you have to buy the Canon proprietary fan grip to have fan. The fan grip will allow you to draw air up into the bottom of the grip, up into the Canon R5 Mark II body, and go out to the left side of the body. This is not a big deal, but most likely will be beneficial for longer recording, like a weddings ceremony and toast. One thing to know that the fan grip though require Canon latest LPE6P battery to power the unit, and apparently this battery unit offer a higher discharge rate at 6 amp. I don't know what's the previous battery draw discharge rate is, but there's that. If you use the older Canon battery, most likely it won't work. The final one that I found is beneficial is the full-size HDMI. Oh my goodness, they finally did it. It's been years that they stuck with the micro HDMI, and those cable is tiny and fragile. If somebody hit it, it might break, it might jam in there. So oftentimes people would have a cable clamp. And not that I'm saying that the full-size HDMI doesn't need a cable clamp. You still need to clamp it, but it is more fragile with the micro HDMI. They fixed it though, so that's great. So here's come the con that I found so far. There's not a lot of excessive testing with the Canon R5 Mark II yet. So the camera has dual card slot, and this is not a con. Con here is that one is CF Express Type B card and one is UHS 2 SD card. I just wish that the camera has both CF Express Type B slot, just like the Canon R1. The Type B CF Express is more advanced anyway. It has a faster read and write speed. They built it more robust. Finally, it is a lot cheaper than SD card. It has a faster offload as well. So I don't know why they don't go with 2 Type B. The one single SD card slot is a bottleneck if you want to do any sort of high bitrate recording or fast burst photo shooting. The second con is that the new battery LPE6P is needed for the Canon R5 Mark II to enable some of the functions like shooting at 8K RAW, multi-function shoots, one of those task cam that give you 2 XLR out with gain input. The new battery will enable pre-shooting and continuous shooting at high speed. I don't know if this is a con or not yet, but it seems like overheating is still up in the air, and Canon only mentioned that it could potentially overheat in 8K settings, but I haven't seen anyone test it in 4K. But my hopes is that it can tolerate the 4K 24, 30, 60 well enough that we don't need a fan grip. So that also means that we don't need to buy the new battery LPE6P because each of them costs $80. So the last one, I don't know if it's a con or not. Obviously they gave us a lot of pro feature into this cameras. It costs $4,299, so $4,300 for the Canon R5 Mark II. We'll see how the dynamic range turn out. We'll see how efficient is the battery. We'll see if it's overheating or not, if it's functioned well, all of the above. And that will determine if this camera is worth it or not. That's it. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.